Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf, and in this video I show you how to replace the Keyfob case on a 2011 Citroen C4 Grand Picasso. So as I said in the intro, we're going to be replacing the this keyfob here on this key with the Citroen C4 Grand Picasso that I have. You can see the key's not working as well as it should, the buttons are a bit worn out, and generally this needs a bit of a replacement and a refresh. So we've got a new replacement keyfob case here, pretty good one. You can see the button works nice and smoothly. Also kind of a little replacement Citroen logo go on the back there. I'll put that on the end, pop out the way. We're also going to replace the battery wire in there. These use CR1620, little 3 volts. Let me just turn the brightness down, it's probably a bit too bright. There we are, that's better. So yeah, like I said, we'll replace the battery in a minute. We'll do that when we get into it. We're going to need a few other tools. We're going to need a plastic pry tool, a little flat bladed screwdriver. This is from a Brazilian screwdriver set I've got. And then a couple of very small Torx bits for knocking out the pins that hold the key blade in. But I'll show you that in a moment. Let's start by opening up the case, the old one first. So the easiest way I found to do this is you pop the key open and just get in here and give it a good gentle twist, and that'll make a nice little gap. Most of the time, sometimes it doesn't work. Swap the end round quickly. There you are, it gives you a nice little crack so you can get the case off and pop out. There's your circuit board. This contains your buttons and your transponder too, which is just a little wire here. This I think is. I can't see any other parts where the mobiliser key will be, so I'm guessing it's built into this board. And there's the battery we'll be replacing in a moment, but we'll do that before we put it back in. Put this to one side for the moment. Now I can move on to this key here. This is the new one, so we'll just get that open too. Again, very simple, just twist, crack, get your little pry tool in. If you haven't got a pry tool, you can use a little flat blade screwdriver. And there we are, pop that off. Slightly different design, slightly better design than the new keys. So we'll pop this out the way for the moment. We'll go back to the old key. Well, the old key, we're quite lucky. We can pop out this little plastic bit here where the button's held onto. Hopefully you can see that very well on the camera, but you should be able to. Just be able to pop this out and remove it. A bit of gentle persuasion, so to say. Get this out and take the spring out. And then there's a little bit of black plastic in the bottom here. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll try and bring it close to the camera. Just there's a little bit of black plastic, and we can pop that out. That allows us to remove the key blade itself. This one's quite loose, so that's quite good. And then all we need to do is find the best, these are Torx bits I'm using here. Best Torx bits we can to give it a gentle tap out. Usually from the back's the best. And give it a couple of gentle taps. It will start to move. Sometimes you need something to stand it on just to give you a bit more height so you're not tapping it straight onto the table. Let me find my trusty pliers. So we'll just use these as a little makeshift stand for now. Again, get your Torx bit lined up here. Get the screw dot lined up and then give it a couple of gentle taps. And then the pin will pop through, as you can see here. And then just wiggle it out. And there's your key blade removed. We'll quickly keep this pin to one side for the moment. Might come in handy. Put this over here, out the way. Now we need to do it on the new key. It's slightly different on the new key because you can't actually remove the key blade itself. Because otherwise I just swap the key blade rather than doing this. We want the slightly bigger one for this one. So that was a, to double check for you, a T5 for the old one. And this is going to be a T7. So a couple of sizes up. We can get it lined up and then you give it a couple of gentle taps. And the key will pop through again. As you can see, it's almost all the way through. Then once you get almost all the way through, you can just normally just push it through the rest of the way with your hand. This one's going to be a bit stubborn. So we'll just give it a gentle. There you go, it's out now. We just got to remove this bit and then we can just wiggle the key out. Again, these come out fairly easy, to be fair. Sometimes they can be a bit stiff and you have to use a screwdriver to pry them out. And then we can make sure we get this the right way up. It should only go one way in, so there's a little groove in the top there. I'm not sure how well you can see that. I don't know if I can zoom in on it for you quickly. Probably not very clear, but there's like a little groove shape. In which way these can go, only go in one way. So it just generally slides in like that. So you line up the slot. They can be a bit tight sometimes. Just going back in. But once you get it nicely lined up, just work it all the way down so it's nice and flush. And then we can pop the pin back in. So the easiest way I found to get the little retaining pin back in is to take the new one that comes off the new key blade, which is like a spring style one, and take a smaller, so this is a T5 bit that I used earlier. We tape it in and we tap it onto the bit like that. That's held on there nice and firmly. Then we can use this to drive in, as you'll see me do in the next clip. Then once you get it in, you just have to push it all the way in. I'm basically almost seated now. So what you do is you give it a gentle tap with a hammer. And there we are. Pull out. Almost seated, we just got to finish it off with this slightly larger one. So just line it up. Give it a couple of gentle taps. Yeah, it should flop in place. That's the key back in place and all secure. So let me just zoom it back out. And so all I did was I used a smaller one and got inside the hole here, and I forced it in with that. Made it so much easier. And then I just tapped it in with the slightly bigger one, so the T5 went inside the small spring hook clip. Now we can move on to finish putting the key back together. So let's grab ourselves the electronic part, the main part of the thing. We'll grab ourselves a new battery, get this out of the thing, and we'll pop out the battery. And these should just pop out relatively nice and simply, like so. Just slide it up. And we'll slide the new one in, positive facing up, and then that should all be done. We'll grab our new front, which is just here, and at the bottom here is a little guide pin, and all we do is line this little pin up here with that, like that, and then all we've got to do is pop the case back together, make sure it's nice and secure, and there we are. That's the how you replace a key fob on a Citroen C4 Grand Picasso. I almost forgot before we go though. Let's pop this little sticker on the back. So it just comes with some double-sided tape. And we'll just remove that. Quite tricky to pick this off, but there we go. And then we just pop our lovely little Citroen logo in here, and that's how you replace the key fob on a Citroen C4 Grand Picasso. If you enjoyed this video, why not drop a like? Any questions or feedback, let me know in the comments. I normally drop 2 videos a week, so if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, you should, and then you'll never miss another video. Do you know anyone else who would enjoy watching this video? Then feel free to share it with them. Thanks for watching until the end. Have a sensational day.